Welcome to the book of Leviticus. We just finished Exodus and left off with Moses receiving instructions on building the tabernacle. They built it and dedicated it, set it up. Now we are given many things in this book, basically laws, not too much history. Chapters 1 to 7 goes into the offerings, the various offerings of the Levitical priesthood. People give to the Lord. Chapter 8, we have a consecration then of Aaron in the priesthood. Then chapters 11 to 21 are various laws for the people. And then in chapter 22, we call it the holy and the profane. And then chapter 23 to 25 has to do with times and seasons. Chapter 26, obedience versus disobedience. In the last chapter, 27 on vows. And with that, we'll go into the beginning of chapter 1, the yield and gift offerings. And God called Moses, period. I changed that. And the Lord spoke to him from out of the tent of the testimony. Now, how exactly he spoke to him from out of the tent, Moses was there and he heard the voice, I suppose, somehow. And he said, "Speak to the sons of Israel," in the imperative. "Speak to them, and you shall say to them," anthropos, anthropology comes from that word, "a man of you, if he should bring gift offerings to Kyrio, the Lord, from the cattle and from the oxen." Now, cattle would be like cows or cattle, bovine family. Oxen were generally draft animals, animals that pulled wagons and plows and so forth. "And from the sheep, you shall bring your gift offering thus." And I put the offerings in the italic, and thus also in this place here, because it continues, "If his gift offering be a whole burnt offering." See, now, the word offering does never appear. You can go through this whole Bible and you'll never see that word offering. Very seldom does it ever appear. And now in the New Testament it says Jesus became sin for us in the King James, but it's a sin offering because that's what it's used in the Old Testament, hundreds of places. He was sinless. So they are to, if it be any of these, it has to be, he shall bring an unblemished male for it. He doesn't want any animals that were sick and ready to die, bad shape. I went to this cattle auction years ago, and this one person, it would bring a really a sick, bad animal, and people feel sorry and buy it so they could bring it back. It wasn't taken care of properly. So he's to bring this unblemished male, beautiful animal, to the door of the skinis, the tent of the testimony. And so now we had that tent, and we had the courtyard outside of the tent. They came through the gate of the courtyard, or the veil there, the opening, brought it in before the altar to be sacrificed. "And he shall bring it acceptable before the Lord." So when we bring things to the Lord, they need to be acceptable to him. It's not junk, as I've mentioned before, like we would take old stuff, tattered rags or clothes, to Goodwill or Salvation Army. No, God wants the best. "And he shall place the hand upon the head of the yield offering, acceptable to him." Now, I would think that putting the hand would be the priest he's talking about, but yet it could be the person also to put the hand on the head. I'm not sure here. Have to find somebody that's more of an expert on these sacrifices than I am. But it's to atone for him and to bring a gift to make up for the sins that a person has done. If you have insulted somebody and you go and you say you're sorry, it's best probably to do something more than just say it, to offer some type of a recompense if you destroyed something of somebody's to make up for it. If you borrowed his car and got in a small accident or something, have the car fixed and maybe give him something in addition. And they shall slay the maskon, the calf, before the Lord. Now, this maskon, I have a problem with that, exactly what that is. First, I was thinking, well, that's the bovine family, but it goes down here, slay the calf, and the sons of Aaron shall bring, the priest shall bring the blood, period. And they shall pour the blood upon the altar round about, the one at the doors of the tent of the testimony, and that's that one where they kill him, slay him, and flaying the whole burnt offerings, they shall dismember it by limbs, cut it up. And the sons of Aaron the priests shall put fire upon the altar, set a fire, and shall pile wood upon the fire. Xyla, xylophone comes from that. Those little wooden bars that they hit with a mallet. And the sons of Aaron the priests shall pile up the pieces and the head and the fat upon the woods, the ones upon the fire, the ones being upon the altar. But the intestines and the feet they shall wash in water. And the priest shall place the whole amount upon the altar. It is a yield offering, a scent of pleasant aroma to the Lord. It's an animal being burnt, like a barbecue. And it smells good to us too. And if you're unless you're a vegetarian, I suppose, and that's fine. And if his gift offering is from the sheep to the Lord, or also from the lambs and of the kids for a whole burnt offering, he shall bring an unblemished male for it. So now that maskon earlier could have been of the bovine family, and here now he's talking about the lambs, the kids from the goats and the lambs from the sheep. Still has to be a male unblemished. Can't have any fault. And he shall place his hand upon its head, and again I imagine that would be either Aaron or the priest, and they shall slay it from out of the side of the altar towards the north. So that would be the northern part of they had these tables where apparently they sacrifice or slay the animal, and then it would be before the Lord, which is in the tent. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall pour the blood of it upon the altar round about. Take it out round about. And they shall divide it by limbs, and the head and its fat. And the priests shall pile them upon the woods, the ones upon the fire, the ones upon, supposed to go down here, the ones upon the altar. And the intestines and the feet they shall wash in water, and the priest shall bring the whole amount and shall place them upon the altar. It is a yield offering, sacrifice, scent of pleasant aroma to the Lord. Osmotic has to do with the smell. But if it's from the birds, he should bring his gift, yield offering, to the Lord. Generally, that's for the poor people. Then he shall bring his gift from the turtle doves or from the pigeons. Now, and the priest shall bring it to the altar and shall pluck off its head. So now, here, let's go to the New Testament, and we see circumcision of Jesus. And when 8 days were fulfilled of the circumcising the child, that his name was called Jesus, the name being called by the angel before his being conceived in the belly. And when the days were fulfilled of her cleansing, according to the law of Moses, they led him unto Jerusalem to render to the Lord the firstborn, as it has been written in the law of the Lord, that every male opening wide the womb shall be called holy to the Lord, and to give a sacrifice according to the thing being said in the law of the Lord. A pair of, same words here, turtle doves, trigonon, are two young pigeons, peristerone. Trigonon and peristeron, and we'll see here that it was trigonon and peristeron. Goes right along with that. And the priest shall bring it to the altar, and shall plug off its head. And the priest shall place it upon the altar, and shall wring out the blood, hemoglobin, hema, part of the globin, comes blood, to the base of the altar. And he shall remove the crop with the feathers and cast them by the altar according to the east, according to the place of the ashes. So now this is east would be towards the gate. They had a place there. The crop, what is a crop? Well, I had to look that up myself. And it is in a bird's digestive system, Wikipedia has about it. And the crop is an expanded muscular pouch near the gullet or the throat, and it says it can be as large as the head of the bird. And so basically, he's wringing its neck, cutting the neck off, and poking all the feathers, and so forth. Might sound gross to some people that have never seen that, but when I was younger, I had went on farm and places where they killed the chickens, and you could take a chicken, and some people did, and they put it down and chopped its head off with an axe. But that's kind of dangerous. That chicken's not sitting there easy, waiting for its head to be cut off, and he's flapping his wings and everything. You're trying to hold it down. And the distraction, you could end up cutting your hand off or fingers or something. It could be very bad. So some people took the chicken. It's very, if you don't want to hear it, then now's the time not to listen for a minute, or not even a minute, a couple of seconds. Here we go. Took the chicken and wrung it like that, real violently like that, and twisted around, and they call it wringing its neck. And it would break the neck, and then they could pull it off or chop it off or cut it off with a knife. I'm back. So he shall break it from the wings. So he broke it, but he shall not divide it. So he would break it open somehow, but he wouldn't divide it with a knife. And the priest shall place it upon the altar, upon the woods, upon the fire. It is a yield offering, sacrifice sent of pleasant aroma to the Lord. So that was the first offering that we find out about. We'll go into the next offering in chapter 2, the gift offerings. I hope you'll join us and find out about these different types of offerings and how they apply either to us or to the New Testament. Till then, God bless.